Hey guys, this is Sukanya Rana and welcome to Streak Initiative. And this week we'll be covering another set of topic, which is questions from your science and technology and some questions defense related. So let's get started. But just one kind of thing that I wanted to tell, that in science and tech and usually in defense, the questions are very subjective and factual. So when you have a factual question, the thing is that either you know it or you don't, and there might be some place where you can have your guesswork, like whenever there's a technology and the question is basically based upon the application of technology, then you can have some guesswork. So we'll have some of those questions as well and some of other factual questions as well. Basically what you can do is, again, like I've told you, use these videos to be some kind of a break in between your prelims preparation and revise some of the topics that have been there in current affairs for the last 1 year. So and also do register, like I've been telling you. Find the link below, register for Streak program. You can get PDFs for Yojana, RSTV and burning issues. The questions are compiled at one place and given to you. So all this is all available for free. You just have to go and register. So the first question that we're looking into today is on nuclear medicine. Now this question has been included here because in previous year questions, if you've seen, there's a question related to nanotechnology and the link of that technology with respect to medicine. So these kind of technologies are pretty much important and their application in the medical sector is important. So that is why this question is here. So let's look at what the question is. It's basically about nuclear medicine. So the first statement here is that it uses some amount of radioactive material called radio tracers that are typically injected into the bloodstream, inhaled or swallowed. Second statement here is hyperthyroidism, thyroid cancer and bone pain from some type of cancer are few diseases which are treated with the nuclear medicine, and you have to identify the correct answer for this particular question. So guys, both the statement are right here with respect to nuclear medicine, and I think if you did not knew about this particular topic, this can be a chance to just get through a basic introduction, and also you can Google this topic. So basically the idea here is that as you can see from the term nuclear, so this means it has to be something really small. So what happens here is that in your blood, radio tracers are actually injected into your blood, and they actually examine the whole area, and these radio tracers actually give out gamma rays. And then these gamma rays are actually detected with the help of a camera, and the inside of the body is detected and an image is created. So what is happening is, since these are very small radio tracers and they goes into your bloodstream, so the detection and the imaging is far more superior to any other technology that we're doing right now. So yeah, so it helps in better identification of the disease. More unique information is transferred, the imaging processes are much more better, and the potential to detect any kind of disease, especially like a cancer or bone pain, these kind of diseases can be detected at a very early stage, right? So that is the idea behind this particular medicine. And yes, the second statement is also right. These cancer and bone related can be easily detected with the help of these medicines. So I think by understanding the term nuclear medicine, you could have attempted these two statements. Why it was in news also? Because the Bhabha Atomic Research Center had actually evolved the design for this particular type of first nuclear medicine. So that is why it was in news, and it's important because it allows your radioactive isotopes to be used have an application in medical sciences. So that was the reason why this particular news was there in your current affairs. Let's look at the next question. Now it's about an element, and element name is Einsteinium. So it's basically the question is basically based upon what this element is. So the first statement here is that this particular element was discovered for the first time in the debris of first atomic bomb, little boy, that was dropped out on the city of Hiroshima, Japan. And second is that it is naturally occurring element which has radioactive properties. Now you have to identify which are incorrect statement in this particular question. Now be very careful about whether the question asks you whether it is correct or incorrect. So that is very important. So you have to identify which are incorrect statements. So answer to this particular question is that both of them are incorrect. Now Einsteinium is not something that is naturally occurring element, right? I don't think you've seen this particular element on when you go through normal naturally occurring elements and their list. You never come across such kind of an element, and I think this particular thing can be covered from your NCRTs, which you do till 10th. So I think by that knowledge you can easily eliminate your second statement that no, it's not naturally occurring. And with respect to the first statement, this particular element was actually discovered back in 1952. So if you had that idea also, I think then also you can compare whether it was found in Hiroshima or someplace else. So the idea is that it was discovered in 1952 and in the debris of the first hydrogen bomb that had happened in Pacific Ocean, and that particular thing was much more stronger, as 500 times more stronger as compared to the atomic bomb explosion that had happened in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. So this statement is a bit factual. Again, like I told you initially, science and tech and defense can be a bit factual. So it's important that whatever topics I'm telling you, you do go and revise them and have a bit of knowledge about each and every of these topics. So let us look at the third question here, which is about trans fat. In fact, trans fat is a subject that has already appeared in your previous year question paper. So this topic is actually important. So there are basically three statements with respect to trans fat. Number one is that it is a saturated fatty acid that comes from either natural or industrial sources. Second is that it is industrially produced by adding hydrogen to vegetable oil, converting liquid into solid, resulting in partially hydrogenated oil. And third is that the Food Authority has placed certain limits of 3% by 2021 and 2% by 2022. So this particular topic was in news because of the third point only. So if you've gone through your current affairs, you might be aware that this statement is right. Such kind of limits have been placed by your FSSAI, and in fact, there have been call from other international bodies as well, like WHO, which calls for complete elimination of your trans fat from industrially produced food products. So statement 3 is right, and in fact the answer for this particular question is B. That means your statement 2 and 3 is right. So if you read about trans fat, the basic idea here is that they are unsaturated fatty acids. So by that logic, I think you can easily solve even the statement 1 and statement 2. So basic understanding if you have behind trans fat, you can easily attempt this question. So they are made unsaturated by adding hydrogen to your vegetable oil. And why is it done? Because it increases the longevity of a particular of whichever food it's put into. So that is the reason why it's made unsaturated. And the trouble with this is that it is not healthy for your heart. So too much intake of trans fat can actually lead to a lot of heart related diseases. So in that sense, that is why there have been a lot of awareness regarding this particular fact and how we can reduce its intake in our food products. So one more thing, usually people think that it's always industrially produced. That is not true. In fact, it is also naturally found. It's naturally found in a lot of your dairy stuff and meat. Like red meat also has certain amount of trans fat. But that naturally sourced trans fat is not very unhealthy. But again, a lot of doctors say that whatever food has trans fat, you should always eat that in limit. So so these are three statements for you guys, and the answer for this particular question is B. The next question is actually a program of a ministry which is Vigyan Jyoti, and the first statement here is that it is an initiative of your DST, your Department of Science and Tech, and basically it's to encourage girls to take interest in your STEM program, that is science, technology, engineering and mathematics. So if you are aware about this particular scheme or this particular program, I think this particular question will be a cakewalk for you. And in fact, the answer for this question is C, that yes, it is a scheme by DST, and it is aimed at increasing the number of female representation in the STEM program. And in fact, there are a lot of schemes that are under your DST. Take this opportunity to look into the schemes. Like there were a lot in news also. Vajra was there, Inspire scheme is there, there's STEM scheme, SERB scheme is also under DST. So a lot of different schemes are there under DST. Just go through it once. I think that will be a quick revision tool for you for this from this particular video. So answer for this question is C. Both the statements are right. And let us look at the last question of the day, and in fact it is from defense, and it is actually a question on your main battle tank, which is Arjun main battle tank. Basically again information about it, a lot of questions, like there have been questions on Agni missile and other missile systems, so they are also pretty simple. Either you know them or you don't know them, right? So the first statement here is that it is jointly designed, developed and manufactured by DRDO, Lockheed Martin, and a US corporation, and second is that it has computer control integrated fire control system with stabilized sighting that works in all the lightning conditions. So the answer for this particular question is actually B. The statement 1 is wrong. Now if you've done your previous year question, I think you can easily attempt this question, because Arjun tank has been asked in your previous year questions. Not recent one, I think it's before 2010, those kind of questions when we had more factual question. Then Arjun tank, I clearly remember that there was a question on Arjun tank in your previous year question paper. So if you have these kind of questions, and if you revise your previous year question papers, I think you can get a few information from certain sections which you can apply in your real paper. So yeah, this has actually come in your previous year question paper, and it is not jointly designed. It is in fact one of the model for indigenous production. So 54% of content for this particular battle tank is produced indigenously, and obviously DRDO has been involved in it, and it has been in process since 1972. So since that time it has been working, and 41% is something that have been followed up till now. But when we started work on this, so that kind of contribution for indigenous production increased. So yeah, so statement 2 is right, that it has a computer controlled integrated fire control system. In fact, the missile firing capability as the part of design was added later on. And if you look at here, the corporation which it talks about is Lockheed Martin. Now that is also a very popular corporation which has been involved in construction of lot of defense related equipment and everything. What you can do is look into India's defense sector and see what all things have been produced by this particular corporation. Does India have anything that they have produced? That is one thing that you can look into. If you remember a few years back when we had that fighter plane tussle between India and Pakistan, and India had dropped down one F-16. So F-16 is actually produced by Lockheed Martin. So yeah, now your work is to find some of the equipments that India has, and if you found them, do mention them in the comments so that other people can also benefit out of it. So guys, that was the video for today, and I hope it helped you out in some ways. Thank you for watching, and all the best for your preparation.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update from Civilsdaily.